talk about a game we'll be interested in. Yeah, we're interested in every game, but this one is fascinating. You talk about hot seat central for both of these head coaches. It's the Miami Hurricanes and the Florida Gators. We've got Miami 2.5-point road favorites, 54 the total. It's hot seat central for Mario Cristobal. They expect, winning conference championships, being in the playoff, competing at that kind of level at Miami. And obviously the Florida Gators, they have really yet to realize and get back to the level they were at with Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow, 15, 17, 18 years ago. So when you look at this Florida team and Miami, both of them, this is a high-stakes, pressurized game to begin your 2024 season. And you wonder if things go off the rails for the team that loses this game. That's how important it is. Look, as far as recruiting and the transfer portal, very few teams did better than Miami. The talent is irrefutable, undisputed, the talent they have on both sides of the football. Cam Ward, transfer quarterback from Washington State, great numbers last year. He takes over. Mark Fletcher at running back. They've got Jacoby George and some good transfers they added at receiver. Solid, tons of experience back on the offensive line. A defense that was solid last year for the Miami Hurricanes. They had 5 very high-quality transfers from good that have experience, that are good players, and that defense should be pretty solid again this year. There's no issues with Mario Cristobal recruiting-wise. There's issues with Mario Cristobal coaching-wise, adjustments, in-game management, and all you have to do is look at the absolute disgrace we saw from him with the Georgia Tech game last year, forgetting that he could have just taken a knee to run out the clock, and next thing you know, they're running a play when they didn't have to, fumble, and Georgia Tech recovers, and the next thing you know, they go down the field, they win the game. Unbelievable mistake. Unacceptable mistake. That's how bad he is as an in-game coach. But he recruits like crazy. He's done it again at Miami, but somehow, some way, he fucks it up. And he did this at Oregon, too. Games that they should have won, and Mario Cristobal got in the way. And that's the biggest concern I have for Miami. They're a loaded football team roster-wise, but Mario Cristobal finds a way to not get it to go down properly. Florida, meanwhile, Billy Napier, another guy on the hot seat. This is a big game for him and his program. Graham Mertz returns at quarterback. I'll be honest, Graham Mertz was okay last year. I remember I said when he took over at Florida last year, are they nuts? You're going to make this guy the quarterback who was not very good at all at Wisconsin. But I'll give Napier and the Florida offensive coaching staff credit because he definitely played better than I expected him to. But he's going to have to play even better this year as well to continue to build and improve his offense going into this season. That's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on as far as Florida is concerned. You look at their team, Montrell Jr. at running back, Eugene Wilson, the third back at running back. Only 2 starters on the O-line, a bit concerning for their offense. 6 starters back on defense, 30 points per game allowed by that defense last year. That's going to have to improve. I'll tell you that as far as where this number is, there's been some money on Florida. Miami's definitely more talented. Can I lay points with them on the road, though? I don't think I want to. And I don't think I want to take Florida. This is right up there with the Georgia State game for me. I want no part of a side. I don't like either team. I'd rather bet against both of these teams. But it is a hell of an entertaining, intriguing game to watch Saturday between the Hurricanes and Gators. You could argue that the loser of this game, Cristobal for Miami or Napier for Florida, they're one step, big, gigantic step, C-Mac, closer to getting their ass sent out the door and fired. So that's how big this game is here to start the season. Miami, Florida, C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, big game here. One of the biggest Saturday. I've heard it, though. It seems like with Miami, even the last few years, like this year is the year. Like it's like, come on. And they start 4-0.
Exactly.
5-0.
Yeah.
And it goes downhill. I love Cam Ward. Hopefully, can do some really, really good quarterback that they have here. They have great weapons, the wide receivers that they have in this one. And that defense at times throughout, especially last year, I thought in situations is super athletic and elite. Now, broken stuff down and big plays, but some of the games last year, I think this defense is pretty good. Both teams got, ton of quickness and speed. Florida on the other side, the offensive line is a little bit of a problem for them. They need to run the ball. Graham Mertz, he's the guy we talked to Haynes King, like the classic college football. It's been around for forever. Take care of the football, and you could do really, really good things. What do we get from this Florida defense? That's in the, they are at home. At times they got gashed on the ground. They just had some real stinkers last year. Kentucky had like 300 yards, I remember, against them.
Yep.
On the road, I can't take Miami. I would dare them to win. Like if this touches 3, I would look Florida. We know how well they play at home. You want them in the swamp here, even though I know it's a short, not a crazy trip, just up north for Miami. But I think this game's tight. If it's tight, I want the points. I don't see Miami blowing them out. That would be a really, really big statement if they did. And we know Florida's down. We talked about it. I think this team wins 5 or 6 games. That's what I thought, even when we talked about it last week. So this would be a big win for 2 coaches, that are on the hot seat, Napier and Cristobal.
Yeah, you're right about that. As far as being on the hot seat is concerned, it's going to get scary how
you gotta win.
Pressure is going to be on the coach of the losing team in this game. I
wanted to mention special teams in this because Miami's got a great kicker, one of the tops. Forget his name, Barella, and Gators have one of the top punters in the country. Just big. I always think of that at field position. He's another All-American. Both these guys, preseason All-Americans too. Crawshaw is the Florida guy. He's got a big leg, one of the best punters. So that little things like that could play big in this game if it's tight. You know that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, you're right about that. Special teams could play a big role. You're right. These are good special teams units here that both of these teams should have. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But no doubt. I think when you look at it, it's going to be interesting to see. I think. Let me see here. Yeah, you're right. They are good kickers, both of them.